Hello, gorgeous soul. Today we're checking in with Spirit to find out about your manifestations. We are using the Moonology Manifestation Oracle deck here to see what you are starting out with for this here in the month of May. Today, you have new moon in Aries. Go for it. So whatever you are intending on manifesting, you have gotten the go-ahead here from Spirit. And your underlying energy is full moon in Leo. Go wild. So go for it and go wild. Definitely a lot of action energy here. So make sure you keep that in mind. Time to get moving. All right, we're going to check in with the tarot cards to see what is going on with your energy here. Ten of Wands. Interesting. All right, we are going to start out with your underlying energy, which is the Ten of Cups. So a beautiful, blissful family life is what you are either working on or intending here. But your first card out was this Ten of Wands. So this is really a lot of, well, it looks absolutely terrifying. But it's basically coming to the end of your wands energy. Like all of these wands, it's a huge heavy burden and it's like crushing your skull basically. So maybe just too overwhelming. Which I find interesting because in the center of your spread, you have the Eight of Coins, which is the Eight of Pentacles. And typically the Eight of Pentacles is like a really beautiful like card of mastery. But if you look at her face, she looks like she has been working way too hard and getting really beat up by these pentacles that she's been working on. Like she's kind of crying there. All of these pentacles she's making are like making her hands and her feet bleed. So there is just too much overwork and overwhelm going on in your life here. On both sides of that Eight of Coins, you have the Seven of Cups, which is, if you look at all of these cups, they all look like kind of like a genie lamp. So typically you're trying to choose between one of these options, but here it's kind of more like, oh, what kind of fantasy world are you living in? Sorry about the background noise. My cats just broke in, so you might hear them running around a bit. And then on this side we have the Six of Coins. Now, this one seems to be a lot more pleasant for your work. So this is kind of like an equal give and take here. And as you can see, it's definitely a lot happier card with this coins energy. Here on your main like foundational row, we have this High Priestess, the Fool, and the King of Cups. Now these are all very beautiful energies here. Very intuitive. Actually, it looks like a lot of rest. Like you're just sitting there reading your book, enjoying the nighttime, not worrying about all of this work that seems to be taking over your life in the center of your energy spread here. This Fool energy, very beautiful, flowing energy, along with this King of Cups, which even with this Dragon energy, it feels very in the flow. Kind of, that almost looks like, you know, like you have your own podcast and you're really enjoying doing that work. So maybe you're doing something in social media or here on YouTube. Just try not to make it too much work for yourself here. In your top row, we have this Ace of Cups energy. And this is just like reminding me of you really need to fill your own cup. It kind of looks like someone else is filling your cup here, but this is just make sure that you are filling your own cup and not spending all of your time just working yourself to death here. That's not a great manifestation if you're just completely burdened. You have this Two of Wands energy, so maybe you are being torn between two things. Like you're either working two jobs or you're torn between like two locations. You don't know which way you're going. You don't know whether you're going this way or that way. So you have to kind of make a decision here. And you also have this Knight of Cups energy. Really deep in your feelings here. But maybe you can get a better bird's eye view with this. I don't know if that's a hawk or what that is, but maybe that hawk energy is coming in to help you get a higher view. Let's check your outcome energy. All right, so we have the Five of Coins. So maybe the reason you have been working so hard and just putting yourself through this torture here is because you've been through a season, at least, if maybe recent or maybe long ago, where you were completely in the Five of Coins, which is like lack and loss and just kind of a little bit of desperation energy. Not seeing the beautiful light that is available to you. Not realizing that you have all of these genie lamps that you can choose from. But you have the Wheel of Fortune. So now you're going to be weaving things in the direction that you want things to go. Definitely getting that manifestation energy here with this Wheel of Fortune. And then, look, you're finally getting a little bit more celebratory with this Three of Coins. Maybe working together with other people is bringing you a lot more joy rather than trying to take everything yourself there and trying to have to do everything yourself. You don't want that. You want to be, sharing the work with others. So you can have this Ten of Cups, joyous, magical life, and a little bit more life of ease here. All right, let's get you a couple final cards to see what else you need to know. Oops, this one flew right out. So we have Courage, Guidance, and the Nurturer. That makes sense. So you being the nurturer, you've been taking on a lot of this work here. You're maybe nurturing this whole family. Forgetting that there's other people in your family that can really help you out. And you're going to have to, have a little bit of courage to be like, hey, I can't be like working myself to the bone here. I can't be, you know, working 2 jobs or doing all of this myself. I'm going to need a little help from you guys to, you know, to keep this family in flow, to keep our lives in a good place. Get that equal give and take in either your work or your family or wherever you're struggling here. And that is your guidance. So I did check on the bottom, and your other message is play. So maybe you need to add a little bit more play into your life to help you turn this wheel in your favor. All right, those are your messages. I hope that helped. If it did, please do give us a like. Thank you so much for being here. May you be blessed and stay sovereign.